So all these people when they demolish their house for Nigeria, so they pay them. I mean they just they tell the person say we are sorry because your house is on the government land, we have to. Because the whole thing is really confusing. But for those of you who don't understand why they bring this update, I want to make una use and understand say no be all places therefore they buy land. No. Because the way they think they demolish houses for some places in Nigeria, for some states, is excess. Mona watch and Mona still learn from it.
For Wahab, the Lagos State Commissioner for Environment, we expect that the Honorable Commissioner would also help us shine the light on collaborative effort with other government agencies to improve security around Lagos. Well, good morning, sir. It's a great pleasure to have you on the morning show.
Thank you for having me.
Very much for joining us. I mean, this is about the second time we've had you on our Sunday morning show. The last time you were here, I mean, we called you the demolition man. Yeah. we did call you the demolition man. I mean, it's a subject that we are going to engage you on later on the program. I mean, demolition of Mende is on social media right now. It's on the front burner. But let's deal with the issue as I have highlighted in my introduction. Last week, high officials arrested and demolished 86 rooms under the, I believe it's the Osborne Bridge in Ikoyi. Would like to know, I mean, we just really want to know what really happened. How come people were able to, construct rooms under the bridge without the authorities knowing? And how long were they there? I understand that it's, some sort of criminal ring involved. Even a policeman was involved as well. Please walk us through that whole process. And where are the, I don't know if to call them victims at this point?
Okay, thank you very much, Moji. Good morning, Sherito and Steve. Good morning. And my pretty lady there. Adeswa. You see, Adeswa, let me walk you through a process. The past few weeks and months, the state made a policy that we shall reclaim all our ungoverned spaces. And we started that with Ijora under bridge after National Theatre. Then we went to Akpogbon, Obalende. Then a whistleblower called our attention last week, Wednesday or the about workers there. He was jogging and he had voices under the bridge. He couldn't even stop. He slowed down and he peeped in, took a video and sent it to my social media handle. And right there and then, I had to inform the governor that something is happening here that we need to find a way to move in. And he approved. And the rest, they say, is history. What is not history is the fact that we have declared the ringleader wanted because somebody somewhere has been collecting rent and giving out spaces to individuals, women, young people. And we have said to him, and we've said to ourselves, the long arm of the law shall definitely catch up with him, no matter how long it takes us. That's for that. Now, what are we also doing? We're also trying to put these spaces to functional usage. We have an agency called Last Park, headed by Mrs. Popola. The role of that agency is to put these ungoverned spaces, so to say, to proper use for the citizens. The one at Ijora, the design had been approved, and the CSR by a Lagosian who believes we can turn it into a football pitch and have some other games in there. Obalende has been taken up by one of the biggest telecoms entity in the country, MTN, with the design already in the works. The same thing we're going to do for Akpobo under the bridge and down Dolphin. So what we are trying to say to our citizens is don't be vulnerable, no matter how desperate you are. If you have the means to pay 250,000 for a round shackle under the bridge space, you don't have to be in Ikoyi. You don't have to say to yourself, where do you live? I live in Ikoyi. That is not Ikoyi. You can go and live outside the island, or where you can pay for a rent for a decent accommodation. So that is where we are with respect to the operation at under the bridge of Dolphin. We were even there yesterday, and it was very emotional. We met 3 little kids. I had to talk to them. And I've said to my colleague in the Ministry of youth and social development, take them to our homes, and I will be personally responsible for them from now till they are able to go to university and graduate. That for me is about the path and the way to go for us as a state. So that's where we are.
Oh, you didn't answer my question. So is it just the children that you have put under your care? I asked, where are the tenants at this point? I mean,
we are profiling each and every one of them. I'm not the one that will perform that duty. The agency under which they were arrested is profiling them. So with the profiling, they are going to remove those that are innocently there, while the criminal elements in court or suspects will be taken to court by tomorrow, Monday, to face the magistrate.
All right, Tokumbo. It's good to have you, but I'm not going to, this time around, join Oji in calling you the demolition man. I'll prefer to call you the enforcer. All right. My question will be to ask what many people are asking in town, that in all these that you're doing for the Lagos State government, two key things are important. One, does it not look like you are combining the role of the Physical Planning Commissioner or the Physical Planning Ministry? Because every time that you go out, it looks like what you're doing as the helmsman in charge of the environment is to bring structures down. A lot of people would think that, isn't that supposed to be the job of the physical planning? And then more importantly will be the human face, to all this. I know that you've also served a 48-hour quit notice to squatters under Ikoyi Towers. And people are saying that when you do that 24 hours, 48 hours, how fair, no matter how bad the situation might be, how fair is this? And of course, that will ultimately lead me. I know that Shaitan is eager to ask that question. Will also lead me to what happened yesterday in Mende, Maryland. I was touched when I saw the crying lady, who I happen to know, Isabella Adedeji. Tokubo, please hold on a bit. We really have to show something on the Mende demolition before we go on.
How come without a notice you come and demolish a property? That is very, very wrong. It's very wrong. No notice, no marking, nothing. It is wrong. I mean, if this is a government that cares, they shouldn't have done this. They shouldn't wait. Even the commissioner also confirmed that we were still engaging. And there was nothing that will be done until we finish the engagement. Why did they go ahead? And the commissioner was trying to stop them from bringing down that wall. Why did they still go ahead to do it?
The Lagos State government has come to carry out demolition works. I'll call it demolition works because it is not a lawful demolition of structures. A lawful demolition of structures will only take place when there is a contravention of any of the substantive provisions of the law and when a developer did not obtain the requisite approvals prior to the development of the structures.
The Lagos State, they just came with their caterpillar to demolish without demolition notice. And I've been giving them, I went to in 2 years ago, when they came for this demolition, that they want to do this canal, I went to their office at Alausa. I gave them my approval and the paper that I have. They told me it's not going to have any fence. They've seen it when I'm doing it. They come and visit all the time. They didn't talk about drainage permit. So they never come. I finished the house like December of this year. On the Tuesday, the next day, which is on the 16th of April, they demolished all the house. It's a brand new house. I just built it.
Never did I think that today will happen. A day where the government turned its back on us and deafened the ears. I was literally begging the commissioner that even if you are going to take this place down, give us time.
All right, Honorable Commissioner Tokumo, as I was saying, that's the video that I was trying to make reference to, and that was Isabella Adedeji there, saying that even if the demolition will have to go on, why can't time be given? Why couldn't you have considered, an extension of time? And I guess that this will be within your purview, given that part of what was discussed there has to do with drainage permits. Why does it look like what Lagos State government is doing, in particular you as the enforcer, does not seem to have sufficient human face?
Thank you very much, Steve. Let me separate the issues. The first question you did ask was fiscal planning environment, and I'm glad you were in the system for a while. I don't demolish properties. I remove contraventions on the right-of-way of the drainage system or the canals. And with respect to Mende, in 1974, General Mobolaji Johnson, as the governor of Lagos State, or Milad of Lagos State, gazetted the Odoyalaro right-of-way on both sides of Mende and Ogudu. In 2021, my predecessor in office, Honorable Mr. Tunji Bello, served them a notice, and they had engagements that ran into months and years. In November 2023, we called the stakeholders meeting. We served notices before then. We had even marked buildings on the right-of-way. And they came to my office with the honorable member representing Koshofe constituency, Honorable Kolawon. We had a meeting. We played the video. And they did admit that yes, they are on the right-of-way. However, they were pleading that we should reduce the right-of-way for Odoyalaro from 230 to even 60 on both sides, making 30-30. And we said it's not possible because a bridge by Julius Berger is running through that corridor to open up the space and the infrastructure provision. And so we have to enforce. That was 23rd of November last year. Afterwards, the engagement continued. The notices were served again. So they started removing the contravention 2 weeks ago. But Mende Villa sent in some documents. And I said to those on the field, and the two PAMSECs, I'm glad Engineer Mahmoud Adebite and Dr. Gaji said, let us go back there. Let us go and revisit and look at the documents. Last week, Sunday, we went there in the morning. We had an engagement that was not conclusive. Meanwhile, all the other properties on that same alignment, they were removing them. I said, stop on Mende Villa. Let us go back to the office. People with institutional knowledge are still in the system. Two of them were mentioned, Engineer Fashino and Engineer Taiwo. We asked them to come to the office. They briefed us. And we said, let us go back to Mende Villa yesterday. On the issue of notices, there have been served enough notices. We were there yesterday, and they said to them, by the way, this developer...
Sorry, sir, by enough notices, can you let us know when those notices were served and how many?
In 2021, renewed again in 2023, 6 months ago. In my first life, I was a lawyer. Notices are the fulcrum of any activity, and we had served those notices. I am sure of that, because I had to ask for the file. I had to say to them, go back and serve again last year, November, after we met with them in my office. And those places were marked. So...
The notices, sorry to cut you short, what did he say? Remove those illegal structures?
Remove these properties sitting on the right-of-way for Systems 1, Odoyalaro, and we marked the properties. The reason why we had to go back, now let me also say this. The place called Mende Villa is a very massive expanse of land and estates. So the first survey showed they are sitting right inside Odoyalaro, but the document they paraded showed that they were given a setback of between 15 and 18 meters to Odoyalaro. So take the measurements. We even sent in a surveyor on Monday. Surveyor came back with the report, and we went back yesterday. We said to them, you are sitting right inside, but not all the properties. The ones to your right may have to be removed to allow Systems 1. And I'm glad your reporter was there. We went outside their compound and we said, look at this alignment yourself and take the shots. If we are wrong, let the public decide. Now, people can go and say they will not serve notices. I'm not the developer, I'm not the landlord, but I know those landlords met with government. The meetings were recorded, and they did admit that, yes, they should give him more time. More time, 6 months, if it's not enough, then 6 years will probably not be enough. Now, let us also draw the line, Steve. The difference between a developed country and a developing country and an underdeveloped country is the enforcement of laws and orders, not the poetry of your vision or the prose with which you speak about them. It's about you being able to enforce your laws enforce your regulations, and let there be consequences for actions. Nigerians are brazen. Developers are brazen. Both the rich and the poor. Else, how will you go build on a channel? A main channel that can flood the whole of the mainland. And you are still grandstanding with documents from government file. How did you come about it? In a good climb, that man should be asked questions. Let us even leave this.
Government be asked questions about those documents.
You are asking me. I'm asking the same lawyer. I asked him yesterday, and he bolted. I said, how did you come about official documents from government files marked confidential? It shows something is not adding up somewhere.
Mr. Wahab, there seems to be some sort of conversation lost in translation here, because you are saying the last notice was served back in November 2023, and you heard the residents there, and our reporter was there, saying that they did not receive any notice. I mean, this story has actually gone viral.
Roger, how come the developer was engaging me?
But you yourself...
Past 1 month. Excuse me.
Sorry.
Let us call a spade a spade. Right. Developer was there, Dikinduru Jaye. How come he's been engaging us with documents and correspondences for the past 1 month?
You were there yesterday. I was. And the reporter also told us that you tried to stop the demolition. So why did you try to stop the demolition? Because
I was still engaging them to tell them that some part of this estate will have to go. I was here last week Sunday. I came again yesterday with the whole team. Look, when you have... Steve is here. You have the best of our brains in the civil service. I can say it boldly. In the Lagos Civil Service. And they will not joke with a process that can hurt them and hurt their career. We sat down for over a week and we said, run through this process again. Let us walk back this process. We've given them enough notice for since past maybe 2.5 years. But let me now take ownership. I want to be seized of the facts. And they said, sir, this man, at this point, dredged this alignment. He didn't dispute that yesterday. But you see, let us leave the emotions. Let us leave the legalists. Let us leave the sentiment. We have a choice to make. If we want this country to be good, if we want a better society, we need to take ownership of the truth. The truth is, they were served notices. They were engaging the government. But the bosses, they want to eat their cake and have it. I went there myself. If I was mischievous, I won't be there with them. I would have given the order from the office. I said, no, I owe them a duty to explain to them that even the governor had approved that we reduce the width from 140 to 100. And that 100 must not fall on the side of Mende alone. That 40 should go to the side of Ogudu, where the government is having a scheme. That tells you we are giving up something. And at that